So I thought to myself, what's all this talk about thin watches and having a watch that is thin? And I thought, today we need to talk about G-Shock. So I just pressed play and I realized it has started to rain. And I thought to myself, why am I bothered about rain? This is G-Shock. This is how we roll here. And I thought the green is going to match the gold pieces in particular. And as I said, I've been watching a few YouTube videos and I've listened to a few crybabies talk about thin watches, and it literally made me think, guys, look, we're rocking at 80mm here. It might even be more, and the Rolex Deep Sea, the new gold one, apparently that's too thick for people. And I thought, what are you talking about? You need the watch to say, hey, I'm here, I'm on your wrist and I'm loud. And I thought, we don't want thin watches, we want is thick watches with loads of complication and loads of presents, loads of wrist presents. And then people talk about, will it go under a cuff? I don't want this under my cuff. I want this to stand proud and to not go under that radar, but to hit that radar between the eyes. And then, and then I thought, okay, we're going to have to go G-Shock. So I thought, not the French connection, but I thought, let's bring out the French collection. And here we go. And I realized I had a theme going on. I have obviously the gold pieces up here, and my all-time classic, the C3PO, the limited edition at the very beginning, the TFG. And with the gold part on the outside and the polished bezel and bracelet. And this is still one of my favourite, most fun full metal squares that I do wear. And I think I've mentioned that a few times. And if we go over to the left, we have Mr. Frog sat there. And he's part of the French collection here. And I thought, we've got to bring Mr. Frog out. And for those G-Shock fans out there, I keep thinking about the DLC bracelet that's on the other models. Now, on the yellow Frogman, there's a locking mechanism on the bracelet. And I believe that's colour matched to the details, the yellow and the gold details at the side. And I thought it wouldn't match this. But then someone watching my YouTube video said, hey, the gold tone on the MRG will match the bracelet gold on the MRG bracelet for this model. And I thought, we have a solution. So I'm in the process of looking at that bracelet. I have a feeling that it might be expensive, but I thought that bracelet on this model, and I think we have seen that before, and these are the quick adjusts here. You simply press those things in. And I imagine that if you buy a replacement bracelet from Casio, they might include the adjuster device, although I imagine I've got something to press that in. But that is the quick release for the bracelet. And I was thinking that actually is going to be a really nice addition to this Frog. And I suppose what I should do is place it on my wrist for a moment so that you can see it. And whenever I put this on, I think that's a watch that screams, don't ever think about putting me under the radar. I am the radar eater. Those thin-loving anti-Rolex Deep Sea people eat this. This is what you call a wrist watch. This is what you call a wall clock on the wrist. This is what you call wrist presents. So that's what Mr. Frog says. He's unapologetic and thinks, get with the program, people. Now, if I start over on the left, we've got the Darth Vader light. I say light because this has the positive display, because originally it was the B5000G, not the GD that denotes the negative display. and but it has the GD bracelet on, and I thought that looked really nice. I realized that I'm a bit of a modification hence a couple of pieces here that I'll get to in a moment. And once again, I think I've shown these two. I've got the TFC here, the Porter, against the very dark and muted Darth Vader, and and because the TFC, this Porter, has that gunmetal DLC finish, it is a different watch. It's not as black as the Darth Vader here, and that is why I do like them both, because they feel different. This is definitely more sporty, and perhaps suits more colourful t-shirts and shirts, that sort of thing. But this black dude here, he definitely likes a black t-shirt, black jeans, and the Darth Vader look. And that's why I like both of these watches. That they are very different watches for me, even though they look similar. And of course we've got the thin red line here, which is a real characteristic of the original squares that G-Shock, that Casio made. The thin red line for me is Kiku Ibe, and the blue, the shiny, the silvery blue text. The blue text, the thin red line, and then the brick pattern. That aesthetic is timeless. I can't see that design changing. It's just so good. And then we come over to the 40th anniversary cornflakes, the recrystallized, and I think these are going to be one of the big G-Shock collector watches. The minute that they've all sold out and you can't buy these anymore, this is what's going to be the collector's dream. I think anything highly collectible, you always find that when it's originally released, it's a slow taker, because it's a little bit different. But when you hold these cornflakes in the hand, this cement, very matte finish is very intriguing. And then when you find out it's much harder than a stainless steel natural coating, it adds that intrigue. And because all my links are the same colour, because these can change, but there is a differential with the bezel, I think it just adds intrigue, and it does have a matte muted look. So this is really nice. And then we get to these two in the middle are my modifications by accident. And I've recently worn this, and I really like it. And one of the other reasons I was going to make the video today is because I was going to remodification these, and I actually brought my special screwdrivers with me. These are the screwdrivers that you hold either side of the pins to release the main pin, so you can release the strap, and then you can take the bezel off the case. So I actually have these with me. But when I put these down, I thought to myself, I don't want to change these modifications, because I think it is excellent. I mean, if I put these two together, so we've got the cornflake on the left with its recrystallized finish, and we've got the master modification on the right, which is basically the B5000 GD-9 base model, but I've swapped it for, but I've put the B5000D bezel and bracelet on. And because I've got the colour matched screws and pushers at the side, for me it simply adds intrigue. And I love that screen, especially in the sunshine. And I did make a video about this. So these two, I've swapped over the base module. This is the GD-9, and this is the B5000D-1. And I've simply swapped over the bezel and the bracelets, and I've kept the colour matching screws and with the pushers. And because I've got this gold thing going on here, you can see that I've got this choice. I know they're all gold, but these watches are different. They feel very different. This has a more black face. The text sort of matches the gold colour. although the text on here is more gold. But because this has a polished outer part of the bezel, it gives a nice contrast when you're walking around wearing it. And I know that the colour of gold looks a little different, but it's because this bracelet is polished on the top. But you can see the cases there. I understand that the actual tone of gold is identical. It's just the finishing, because the TFG here is polished everywhere with polished sides, and the GD-9 here, it has more polished surfaces, so it gives it a muted, dull gold tone, which can make it look like a different gold colour, but it's actually the same colour as the TFG here. So we've got the three musketeers, the three gold beasts at the top here, that are really one of my favourites. Now, I've snuck in the Casio-Tron because I had a lot of fun obtaining this watch, and every time I look at it, I think, I've got to put that on, I have to put that on. And so I do this, and then I think, I don't want to scratch it. I don't want to wear it for some reason. I want to keep it pristine like this. And so the minute I've put it on, I take it off, and then I end up putting on one of my G-Shocks, and I think, what a strange behaviour. I mean, I did that yesterday. I put the Casio-Tron on first, and then I glanced at this muscle car, and I thought, no, I need the Master G-Shock here. And I don't know why I like it so much. It might be because it's very sunny here, although you might see raindrops on the table here, but I thought the raindrops aren't going to stop me filming. And this is G-Shock, and this is the French collection G-Shock. And I thought, I'm going to have to show you guys. Anyway, I suppose the message was, for all the thin watch loving anti-Rolex deep sea people, anti-thick proper watch people, this video's for you. Check out the thickness of Mr. Frog. He's at least 18, he's basically an inch thick, and he's a brick on your wrist, and he's got buttons all over the place, and there's a picture of him on the back that glows when the sunshine hits it. And he really doesn't want to be thin. He doesn't want to go on a diet. He's not bothered about flying under the radar. He is going to grab that radar and throw it in the bin. So that's what Mr. Frog thinks about that. Now the porter just thinks, come on, what are you talking about under the radar and being thin? I want everyone to see me. I want everyone to know that the wearer of this watch is as cool as they come. Number one, I'm a full metal G-Shock square. Number two, I'm the porter. Number three, everybody wants me. Everybody wants this watch. So that's what he thinks about thin-loving, anti-Rolex deep-sea people. And all the others, I mean, they're just too cool. You know, they don't really have a comment. They think, you know, they just don't want to waste their time. You can rock up anywhere with one of these watches, and you know, the watch doesn't have to sell itself. Don't listen to me, I'm talking nonsense, guys. Anyway, this was going to be a modification video, but I decided that the French collection looked too good, and I thought, actually, that is a really cool collection. I mean, look at that. Perhaps if if you give me a moment, I'll see if I can get some close-ups. Hold on. I just had to change the position of my camera, and hopefully you can see these a little closer. In fact, if I zoom in, let me try that. Yeah, that might be better. I just have to be very careful holding the camera. So this is the French collection, and it's very cool. I mean, look at the gold and silver there. How cool is that? And we've snuck in the Casio-Tron and the Frog, just to balance out the noise that this collection makes. Look at that. Yeah, so that's why I didn't actually produce a modification video, because I thought I can't modify these because this is perfection. This is the antidote to anyone that's got thin watch problems and wanting a piece of paper wrapped around your wrist. This is the antidote. If you're wanting a proper watch, if you're man enough, if you're strong enough to have a French collection, a French connection collection, this is it. This is what looks cool. Anyway, there you go. And I do hope everybody is well.